Hello, you. It's me. And I have questions. Now, I will say I am not an expert. I do not know a lot about cancer and about how things work. I could only Google some of the things that Amber had said, and this all stems from the fact that she's claiming that she did her CTs and her MRIs for every 6 months, etc., which she has stated blatantly that she didn't because she couldn't fit, and I'm tired of the lies. And so I'm going to dive into something that a lot of people won't, and that is into her diagnosis and what she said before her surgery and after her surgery, because I want the truth to be known. I am so tired of all the lies and all the baloney. So I've gone back. This is June 1st of 2020, while she's still living in the house with Eric and Ricky, and she's had her diagnosis now for 2 weeks, and her mom has come to visit. And listen to what she says.
All of that, who I have in my life for what I'm going through. So I'm very grateful for that. So regarding the cancer and like the treatment, I have two options, and that's something I have to think about on my own and choose on my own. I don't want anyone's opinion, or I don't want to be like biased based off of other people's opinion. This is a big thing, and the oncologist told me that I need to choose this for myself, and I need to know pros and cons of both situations. And I think that's the biggest reason why I don't want to share the two options, because
okay, now here she's saying that the doctor gave her two options, but she doesn't want to talk about those options out loud. Now, maybe I could understand this, but after having read what I did, there really is only two options to begin with. One, have the surgery, the hysterectomy, get rid of everything, and hopefully that gets rid of the cancer, which is the more common option. And then there's the option of doing radiation and chemotherapy. And I did read, how that would work for larger sized people, and apparently it works just fine. I can understand her option of choosing surgery, because that literally just gets rid of everything, and hopefully if the cancer is just local, then it'll just get rid of the cancer out of the body. So I totally get why she would choose that. What I don't understand is why she didn't talk about her options a little bit, because I think for a lot of people who have not gone through a cancer journey, or who, maybe a family member, a friend, or someone else did, but they don't know the specifics, I think it could have been very interesting. But even having cancer, she still wants to hide everything. And I just don't understand that. She wants to make everything a secret still. Then why tell us about the cancer in the first place? I really don't understand. I don't think yes, people would have had opinions. She doesn't read them half the time anyway, so I don't know why she wouldn't talk about it. But it's apparently very common just to do the surgery and hopefully get rid of everything right away. So why wouldn't she talk about that? Why wouldn't she say, I have a couple options, and not try to make it a mystery? Just say, I haven't decided what I want to do yet. I still want to get more information. That would have made more sense. But she has to make it a mystery. I don't understand that. Anyway, let's continue on.
a lot of people have opinions on YouTube, which I totally understand. And I don't want any of them kind of getting in the way of my thinking process. So that's why I'm just kind of gonna not mention the treatment options. And when I do finally decide, I will definitely let you guys know. And a lot of people were asking asking what stage of cancer. So with uterine cancer, I'm just gonna talk about what they told me, not like with other people, because I don't know. But they said that they can't tell a stage until they do certain things. But just by scraping the tissue and getting the biopsy, they weren't able to see what stage. So,
okay, now with this one, I have questions, because when reading about how they diagnose a stage, yes, there are a lot of things that they do. They take x-rays, they do blood work, but also biopsy is a specific way of knowing the stage of the cancer. So, and she says with the biopsy, they didn't know. That could be true, but considering that biopsy is used in order to identify the stage of the cancer, that didn't hold true to me. That didn't make a lot of sense. Now, we know that Amber hears what she wants to hear, and that could be what's going on right now. Is, maybe after taking the biopsy, they weren't sure, and they had to do other tests in order to diagnose it more clearly. That could be, absolutely. But biopsies are utilized in order to find out what stage the cancer is, how far along it is, and then they can start using the other things to, the other tests, in order to see if it has progressed beyond the uterus into other areas. That's when it starts going into stage 3s and 4s, when it starts spreading. But her saying that she didn't know from the biopsy is a little bit questionable. Again, I am not a cancer expert. I can only go by what I read doing Google searches and, reading on different Mayo clinics, things like that, I can only go by what I've read. I have not had cancer that I'm aware of. But even here in this stage, 2 weeks in, why is she making everything a mystery? I mean, I know that's just kind of how Amber does, but if she wants to be so upfront and talk about it, why wouldn't she talk about it? And why would she say the biopsy wouldn't be able to tell the stage? Because that's not completely true. Like I said, it's used in conjunction with other things, so they should be able to tell her the stage. So was she hiding what stage she is at? Because I can't remember her ever going over that, what stage of cancer she's in, which is why a lot of people thought she was precancerous cells instead of actually having cancer. And then it would still make sense to have a full hysterectomy, get rid of everything so that it doesn't spread. But as we know, she's not reliable in what she has to say, and she lies a lot, typical of addicts. So I'm not sure. But what I am going to do is I'm going to continue my research to try to understand this a little bit more and to see where Amber really is at. And honestly, this happened because she was saying, oh yeah, I did everything every 6 months, which I think is a lie. And also because Nikocado Avocado said very clearly that her cancer scare was false. Now, I don't think she would have had a hysterectomy if just out of the blue. I don't think she would have had that, which is why I think it was probably precancerous cells, and it was a good idea to get rid of everything. That's my hypothesis. But because of what Nikocado Avocado has said, because of the fact that she's lying and changing the story now. And I will go through that. I will be the YouTuber who goes back in time and looks through the cancer days, the cancer journey, whatever you want to call it. I will go back and I will look at that. I'm not afraid of it. You know, there was a time where I stayed completely away from it because, you know, I didn't want to upset anything. I didn't want to watch it. I was very fearful for her, etc. But now, because she seems to be so deceitful, even more so than usual, especially regarding this, now I'm going to look back. So if you'd like to join me with that, let's do it together. Let's look back on her cancer journey and what she did and what she didn't do, and why the heck would she lie about it? That's what I want to know. I'm just looking for some answers. So hopefully you'll join me in this and we'll get to maybe some truth. Let's find out. Anyway, that's all I got to say.